Listen up, home buyers. The law may be killing your dream of buying a home. And I mean this with all sincerity. A recent class action lawsuit was settled, and it will affect how buyers are able to afford buying homes moving forward. So I'm going to go through what has happened and how you can navigate this. Stay tuned and watch the entire video till the end to learn about my tips for getting through this. So let's talk background. In 2018, 2019, a class action lawsuit was filed against the National Association of Realtors and others big name brokerages like Keller Williams and Remax. The allegations were that there was a type of anti-competitive price fixing collusion for commissions. Sellers in the state of Missouri were alleging that they were paying too high in commissions because it's almost fixing it based on how much they had to pay. Now, technically, commissions have always been negotiable. That's written in all of the agreements that you see by law. But it's been an unspoken truth that if you're a seller, you need to be prepared to pay between 5 to 6% total commission that will get split between the listing agent and the buyer's agent. So this is a type of steering, as the jury saw it, where any buyer's agent that sees that they're not getting paid an adequate commission can steer their clients away from seeing a seller's house if they're not getting paid enough. So the jury in one of the particular class action lawsuits agreed and actually awarded a large sum to the plaintiffs. NAR then saw 20 other copycat cases hit the docket and realized they needed to figure this all out and get it settled. So the results. After settling on the class action lawsuit, they decided, let's just wrap it all into one. So moving forward, all of the other class action lawsuits, for the most part, will go away. If you're a brokerage that is sold under $2 billion in volume, you're covered under this or immune from any additional legal suing or legal ramifications. And also your affiliates are also covered underneath that. In addition to this, moving forward, sellers can no longer offer a buyer's compensation over the MLS to the buyer side. If they still want to offer some type of commission, it just can't be promoted on the MLS. So that would have to be a conversation that is taken offline. The second thing is, as the buyer side, you're now required to have a written buyer representation agreement in place with your agent, which also further defines the relationship between the agent and the buyer, and have in writing what the compensation will look like. My thoughts. I actually think the settlement will do a lot of good for the future of real estate and buyers and sellers. Number one, for sellers, it takes a little more of the burden off of them. They do not have to foot the entire bill for the commission. There's more negotiations that can be done on that end. And if a seller still wants to offer some type of compensation to the buyer side to incentivize people to look at their place, they can do that. They just won't be promoting it on the MLS. On the buyer side, on the positive, I think it's also good because it will incentivize more negotiations, more upfront discussions about compensation and what to expect. But obviously on the negative side, if you're having trouble saving for a down payment and closing costs on very expensive real estate right now, it's going to get that much harder when potentially you are also saving an additional 1 to 2% for experienced, successful buyer's agent to come and represent you in the field. I also believe this will potentially incentivize more innovation and more competitiveness with other business models for how to help buyers buy their homes. I think it's a dangerous prospect for someone who knows nothing about real estate law, or markets and supply and demand to try and negotiate on their own to save a few grand. But I could also see that happening as well. And I think you will see new businesses come out of the potential rubble of this. And then lastly, I believe this will force the National Association of Realtors, or NAR, to really rethink their entire business model and structure. They've tried to get out ahead of this once they made the agreement to settle, but they need to continue to figure out how to innovate. They've been one of the most stubborn trade associations and industries to catch up with modern times. And I believe the courts forcing their hands will make this better for the sellers and buyers moving forward. All right, you have remained patient through this entire video, so congratulations. You sat through it to the end to hear my solutions. We've talked about what has happened, what's going on right now. Now let's talk about what you can do as a home buyer to get through a new challenging world. The first thing, step one, hire an experienced real estate agent that can help you navigate very choppy waters. I would say interviewing between 3 to 5 potential buyer's agents would be a great place to start. Make sure they have your best interests in mind. They are specialists in the type of neighborhood or the type of houses that you're considering, and they have the ability to be creative and help you find affordable solutions. Number 2, think about setting aside 1 to 2% for the purchase price of the house as commission. We are in a new reality where more buyers will have to come up with that money to pay for those experienced superstar agents. But do not be sad about this, because this is still a 50-50 prospect. I personally expect a lot of sellers are still going to pay the buyer side commission, just simply because it is how it's always been done. Plus, it does allow more buyers to come into the market that will potentially buy their home. So I'm not sure they're going to be ready to completely shoo and scare off all of the buyers and their agents if they're not paying the commission. The third thing I would suggest to consider doing here is start looking into down payment assistance programs. There are a number of programs that have come to the forefront to help people navigate through very expensive real estate markets. Right now, just off the top, there is a program called NACA, N-A-C-A, that actually allows you to pay no down payment and no closing costs. It's a very rigorous application process where you're talking maybe 6 to 12 months. But once you're through it, they help you find a property and you're not paying a down payment or closing costs. So that's an option. There's also the new California Dream for All program that just re-released in April. That helps first generation, first time home buyers here in California with somewhere up to $150,000 as a part of the down payment for 20%. So there are a number of programs in California and then across the country. You just have to do your due diligence. The next suggestion I would have for you here is to think creatively. There are homeowners out there that own their homes outright. There are others that are, for whatever reason, going through divorce, relocation, tax issues, whatnot, may have a house with a low interest rate, maybe a little bit of equity or none at all, and they need to move. You can come in at the right time and take over those payments through a strategy called subject to existing mortgage. You will definitely need to partner with a real estate agent that knows how to do this, but this could be a great way to find a house that fits what you need. My next suggestion for you here is to readjust your expectations in the type of home you're searching for. If you are looking for your dream home, your forever home on the first go, I would probably tell you you're not going to find it, just with how hard it is to find enough inventory or supply. And it's so competitive for the great houses right now, you just may not get it. But if you're willing to find a home that needs a little bit of work, maybe it doesn't have all the bedrooms and bathrooms you want, maybe it's a little bit further away from your home or your job or school, it can be your starter home. Get in this house, you have a fixed interest rate, fixed monthly costs for the most part, and you build up some time, some savings, and some equity. And then over the coming years, you now revisit this situation and you think about potentially selling it, refinancing, and laddering up into a better home. And my last suggestion for you here is to think about strategies like house hacking. This is a combination of being a homeowner and a landlord. Find a house with extra bedrooms, or a mother-in-law suite, or ADU as they call them now, or a duplex or triplex or fourplex that you can live in a part of and have tenants that are helping you pay down the existing mortgage. This is a fantastic strategy, especially in a very expensive market like this, because you are saving so much money in the long term. And if you do this right, within a year's time, you can move out of it, have it completely rented out and be a rental, and then you go buy another place and do the same thing all over again. I feel like folks are going to have to do things like this moving forward to get through the new reality of real estate. That is it for this video. Please like and share. And if you want to see more videos like this, please comment below and let me know what you'd like me to work on next. And I'll catch you on the next video.